Hello, everybody. My name is Peter Grosso. I'm also known as Pocket Pete. For those of you that don't know me, follow me. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram. I'll give you my handles when you come up and we chat. I want to start this off not talking about referrals, but giving you a little perspective about where I come from, how long I've been doing this, and why there's nothing that I do that you can't do. I got my real estate license 5.5 years ago. Before that, I was an iron worker. I worked on bridges and buildings. I swung hammers. I had no business experience. I had no marketing experience. And I was very happy with the goal of becoming the president of Local 361. That was my goal. I was going to run that. And then one day, I was working on Citi Field, Met Stadium. I was part of building that. And I was walking across a beam. And while I was walking across it, there was some decking laid out that was supposed to be tied down so I could walk over it. And there was rope, but it wasn't tied. And I stepped on that decking, and it fell, and I fell with it. And I fell 18 feet to a lower roof, and I broke my ankle, my leg, and my back. And I was laying there, in the second highest point of Citi Field, with a broken leg and a lot of pain, knowing something was very, very wrong. And they had to use a crane to lift me up and drop me to the pitcher's mound of Citi Field where the ambulance was. And that was my last day as an iron worker. And I went to the hospital. I had surgery. Then I had another surgery, and I had about 3.5 years of surgery where I was walking with a cane for close to 4 years. And during that time, I had tremendous depression. I had no value to the world, and there was really no purpose for me. And I went from that to getting my real estate license, walking in, interviewing 3 brokerages. One of them was a RE/MAX, and I decided RE/MAX was the place to be. And I really was going to attempt to be an investor. And I sat with the broker, really liked what she had to say, and then she invited me to the award ceremony. The award ceremony was 3 weeks later. And I went to this award ceremony, and I sat there and I watched a bunch of people getting awards, and I wasn't getting any. I didn't like it. I didn't like it one bit. So I decided I was going to give this a shot. I was going to try to be a realtor, for real. And I spent 60 to 70 hours a week trying everything. I did some door knocking, I did cold calling, I did expireds, I did FSBOs, I did mailers. I did everything that I could do. In my first year, I sold 7 houses. It's not bad for a first-year agent. But as I was doing that, I realized what was working, and I quadrupled down on it. And my second year, I sold 47 houses. By the end of that second year, I took over that brokerage. And I became the broker of the #1 RE/MAX on Long Island. And then I had to convince a bunch of agents like yourselves that what is this 2-year agent going to do to add value to a bunch of agents that have been doing it 10, 15, 20 years, and convince them not to head for the hills. And I did that. I sold 50 houses, 70 houses, and in 2020, we closed almost 100 houses. As my team and our brokerage sold about 500 this year, our brokerage might sell about 600 houses this year. And I own 2 more. So I'm 5.5 years in, and I am lucky enough to be the broker of 3 RE/MAXes, and have a tremendous referral system that I'm going to teach you here today. I'm telling you this because I started as a lowly, know-nothing construction worker, and if I can do this, then there's really nothing that should be stopping you. So that is the number one lesson I want you guys can go home now, because that's the number one lesson, right? Is if I can do it, you can do it. So hello, I'm Peter Grosso, Pocket Pete. And the reason why I'm Pocket Pete is I have an app. It's called Pocket Pete. And that app started when I created a website and my web developer said, Pete, why don't you create an app? I said, well, what's this app going to do? Well, people can go on your website and they can link to any searches, and they can see houses, and if they like a house, they can click it and get to know you, or and see the house. I said, I hate it. I'm not competing with Zillow. I can't beat Zillow. Leave me alone. And then at 2 a.m, I sat up. I said, I got it. I've always been the guy who has the guys. Before I was a realtor, before any other time, if you need an electrician, I don't know anything about electric, you'd call Pete. If you need an undertaker, you'd call Pete. So I just created an app around the person that I am. So everybody in the app that I trust is there. So whenever you need my recommendation, I'm always with you. I'm always in your pocket. I'm Pocket Pete. And it stuck. It started as just an app name, and I turned into Pocket Pete. And I realized that was working. So I started to create that logo for everything. It started to make it part of my brand. And I want you guys to realize, and this is the most important thing, because this is what we're about to get into, and this is Pocket Pete, okay? This is my logo. My logo is not my brand. My logo is just, and look at this. This is Pocket Pete for babies. So the important thing I want you to know is my logo, your logo, and get a damn logo. Think of one and get a damn logo. Write that down, go to Fiverr. And use 3 different people, create your ideas, brainstorm off each other, start a little group, and figure out who you are, and it's okay to change it. You can figure out who you are and adjust until you find out what's right. Because like I said, I did everything until I figured out what was right, and then I did laser focus, right? So your logo is not your brand. Your brand is the experience that people get that is unique and repeated for every single client that you work with. Unique and repeated, meaning that if you hire me to sell your house, these 6 things are going to happen that don't happen if you hire him, right? And not only those 6 things are going to happen, when you refer me, those 6 things are going to happen for them too. That's the brand. The brand is the expectation. The brand is the experience. Okay? I know that when I see what hotel are we in? There's a Hilton Garden Inn. If I see a Hilton Garden Inn, there are certain things I should expect, right? If I see that brand, I think about those things. When they see my logo, they think about the things that they felt, the experience that they went through, and they relive it. Okay? So not only do you need a logo, you need to create an experience. And the experience has to be more than my realtor did a great job. My realtor was so nice. My realtor sold my house in 5 minutes. Those are repeatable stories that are interchangeable with any of you, right? So for me, I wanted to create an experience that was akin to a wedding. that was akin to the special once, or for some of us, 2-3 times in a lifetime situations and things that happen, both houses and weddings, right? So I spent a lot of time developing how I can do 2 things, maybe 3 things. How I can create a special experience for my clients, how I can develop a brand and a name recognition, and how I can use the outside small business world to create multi-level advocates. And that's the goal, is you want advocacy. If you want to be a referral agent, if you want business to come to you, you need to be a superstar and know your advocates and give an experience that is unmatched. So for me, that started with the first introduction. If I show up to your house, or if I show up to a house to meet you to buy a house, I show up with a bakery box full of cannolis or pastries or cookies with this sticker on it. Sweet Pocket Pete, give him a call, he's a friend of a friend. I had them built out for 3 different sizes. These are stickers. So I go to the bakery, I order whatever's appropriate. I put the sticker on, it looks like I own a bakery. Okay? And now I'm sitting in their kitchen. For anybody that walks in, they can't lose me because I'm tasty. Okay? And what did I do? Upon that listing appointment, I not only made it about business, but I made it personal. My mother always taught me, you never show up empty-handed, right? Do not show up empty-handed. This is not a business transaction, this is their life. They've lived in this house for 30 years, and you want to go in there and talk business, they want to tell you stories. Break the ice with cannolis. Build that rapport with branded cannolis. Or whatever you want. Make it yours. Because now, when they interview anybody else that doesn't bring them cannolis, who wins? Right? They will hire the people they trust. They will trust the people they break bread with. Right? Bring cannolis. Bring cookies. Make it nice. And start the branding. Start the branding. Now, if I'm working with these people, I need to create a constant reminder that I'm an entity, that I'm an experience, right? So what I'll do is I have a, let's say they do the inspection. At every point of the transaction, you should lay out the transaction and say, what can I do to make this slightly different? A slightly better experience. So for me, for the inspection, we bring some donuts, we bring whatever. Again, feed people. It goes so far. And then we have a little notebook that called the Pocket Pete Home Inspection Recollection. Okay? And we're handing them a notebook, again, branded, logo. And, we handpick our inspectors. And I say to them, this inspector is wonderful. He's thorough. But what's important is he's not only going to tell you whether or not your house is going to fall down, but how to treat it over the next 20 years. Because that's what my inspector does. He'll say, this is your air conditioning unit. It was built in 2014. It was manufactured in Wisconsin. He knows way too much information about everything, right? He'll give you the whole detail. And then he'll say, now what you'll want to do is you want to cover it every winter, but not all the way down. You want to cover it halfway down because you need air to flow through, because he starts going into this whole thing about ice and whatever. And they're jotting down notes. So now, once I noticed that happen, without the Pocket Pete book, I said, they need a Pocket Pete book. So I created the Pocket Pete book. Now, we go to contract, right? And this is the point where, and maybe it's different for you guys, but for me, once somebody's under contract, I have to go out and get new business, right? I got to go out and create new relationships. I got to take people on showings. I have to go to listing appointments. I need to get back out there or do the things that I do to bring more business in. But they're sitting there. They haven't, it was too much for me for them not to hear from me, right? For me not to check in during the time that I believe it's called the reticulating activator, which is what happens when you're doing a thing, like if you buy a Ford Focus and you drive around, all you're gonna see is Ford Focuses. The first 2 months you buy a Ford Focus, right? That's the reticulating activator, right? They're selling their house or they're buying a house. Anytime someone around them talks about housing, they're gonna hear it, right? And you want to be top of mind. You want to be the person giving the experience. You want to be the person that did something that made them want to share you, right? And not share you because they like you, but share you because they want to give this experience to someone else. They want someone else to feel what they felt, right? It's not about me. It's about what my clients get and how much fun it is and how exciting it is that they're going to want someone, they want to give that experience to someone as if it's a gift, right? So the next step for me is I send an under contract box to my clients. Beautifully packaged, branded. And I have several things in here that say thank you. It says I appreciate you. It builds that beginning of a warm relationship. And a little Pocket Pete logo, by the way, in all the little corners. Handwritten note, which is the most important. Doesn't matter what's in here if you don't write something personal and special in this card, okay? A handwritten note that acknowledges that you appreciate their trust, that you know that what was put in your hands was special, and that you're not going to let that go by easily, and you will be around for the rest of this and for the rest of their lives. And you will be, because you're going to have a referral system that keeps you in touch with them and keeps that feeling going for the next 30 years. Your job as a referral person is to collect people. You're collecting people. You're collecting advocates. And you're doing that, and your life gets easier and easier, and you're going to use the systems that we talk about to grow and be a magnet of business. Okay? We have a little Hershey's chocolate that's brand says under contract. I will be here to try to make these moments smoother and a little sweeter. Hershey Kiss with the Pocket Pete logo underneath. Always be branding. Then I have a wooden pen for them to sign their contract or their deed or whatever in it. And I'm just going to open this up, and I brand the top of the box. I get them from Precision Mall. I buy in bulk when there's a discount. If I can open it, we'll see what's in it. Making tomorrow better than today. Congrats, the Pocket Pete team. And then on the pen it says New Day. Doesn't have to be this, but it gives a special experience. It says that we care about you more than just the money that we're making. And then inside of there, one, we're still branded. Download the Pocket Pete app. And I have a laminated card that has all the phone numbers they're going to need for their moving. The electrical company, the water company, and then I tell them they can download all this information in the Pocket Pete app. But it's all right there. So now they're keeping this, right? They're probably keeping that. They're definitely keeping the pen. And this is staying in their kitchen. So now they're looking at you every day. Oh, I cut my finger. Thanks. All right. Okay. Pocket Pete Band-Aids. When you hear something, you brand it. I love it. Yes. Carl.
I'm sure some people are thinking this. How much does that box cost you to be able to send out to people that go under contract? Where do you get a lot of the stuff created?
Sure. So, and Carl, I can send you the list of where all the companies are. But this cost me maybe $50 with the shipping. Okay. This I get from Pack Lane, and you design your own boxes. You start with building out what you want to create, and then you measure it, and then you build the box around it. So figure out what you want to put in it. I created for my brokerage, I created like a smaller, like $25 one, but I like mine. So this costs about $50. I get these from the chocolate company. This I get from a local print shop. I get Precision Mall are the pens, and then I get the labels at the print shop, the stickers at the print shop. Any questions about that? Okay. Very important. What happens if the contract, like if the deal dies, do I send another box? Yes, I don't. Yeah, I just asked them to look at that one again.
If you have a transaction that's maybe the siblings are taking care of, like a brother and sister, so there's two of them, would you send it to both of them?
So it depends on the circumstance. I've had that where estate sales, where usually I'll either send it to multiple people, and I'm always identifying who the leader is, who the advocates are, who is the loudest if I'm going to send it to one, who's the loudest person of the bunch, right? Because everything you're doing is you're not only building a relationship, you're not only building advocacy. Part of what your job is, if you want to be a referral realtor, is realize who your super advocates are. Your super advocates are people like me. You want me to like you, okay? Because I'll put you in my app. If the topic comes up about what you do, I'm going to boast about you like no one's boasted before. This is the personality that you want to target, where you want to not only do the experience, but have a super experience for. So, like I have a little club of people that I send very special gifts to. I have special business cards. Don't tell Department of State. I have very special business cards that have an alternate phone number where if these people give these business cards, I will send them out to a very special night out with the people they give them to. And I limit them. I give each super advocate only 3. And they have to decide who deserves it. So I create like a little special blacklist club. An insider club, right? It's almost like having the American Express Black Card, right? You got the Pocket Pete card, okay? And I will send them to a Yankee game. I'll send them wherever they want. I will figure out something special for them because they are making me so much damn money because they are so loud. They're leaders in their community, and they're doing all the things that they need to do to make me rich just because they like me. So I want to make them like me. So when you're in situations like that, you have to figure, if you're not going to send it to everybody, because it's $50, it's not a small amount of money, right? But it creates the beginning of an experience that we're going to talk about. Then pick the one that you think is most likely to be the loud one, the most likely to be the advocate.
How much do you buy these in bulk?
Yeah.
So how much do you actually have to put in to kind of get 20 or 10, I guess?
Right.
What's the minimum that you'd kind of have to?
The more you buy, the cheaper it is.
Yeah.
So I'm buying at like 100 at a time right now, especially with these boxes. In the beginning, if you use Pack Lane, buy like 5. Spend the extra money, because I've gone through 3 or 4 boxes thinking I measured correctly, and then I did not measure correctly. Okay. So, but once you get it down, you can buy in bulk. I don't know. So like the wooden pens are the most expensive. They are by far the most expensive. That's probably half my budget for the box. So if you can find an alternate to the wooden pen, or if you can find, like I've tried Amazon, you can maybe get something on Amazon instead of Precision Mall. For me to revamp the box and start again, you guys are probably in a better position than I am to kind of fix that budget. The chocolates aren't bad. The Hershey Kisses are nothing. We get the stickers. I think my assistant gets the stickers from Etsy. If you're gonna put a logo on the bottom.
Cricket, they can do that.
Okay, right? See, we're solving problems. Who's gonna be the cricket volunteer in here? Okay. That ended quickly. All right. Okay. So any other questions? All right. So now they've received the under contract box, and you're getting a phone call, you're getting appreciation, and you're sitting in their kitchen. You have this special feeling already that started, but still, you're out getting business. You don't have time to go back and pop in, see how you're doing, have more cannolis. You've had your cannolis, it's over, right? So now you still need to keep that warm feeling. You still need to make people want to refer you, make sure you're top of mind. So what I did was I started networking with local businesses, small businesses. And this is the most important key to all this, is you all know how you feel. And every realtor in here feels exactly the same, including me. I sold a lot of houses last year. January 1st, I felt like I was out of business. It was a fluke. It was an accident. No one's going to hire me ever again. And I'm going to be on welfare in about 3 months. Right? That's how not only realtor feels, but every small business owner feels. So as you're traveling through life, and right now you're going to think about all the people that you know, all the small business owners you know that do an amazing job and can create a wonderful experience for your clients if they were only introduced, right? So what I do is a week after we're under contract, the gifts start. And they get gift vouchers from me weekly. And I'm always expanding this. Week 1, in the mail, they get a trip to the bowling alley for their family. 10 free games for a family of 5. Right? It goes in the mail, it shows up at their house, and now while they're sitting, stressing, worrying about on the buying side, the documents they got to get in, on the selling side, that they have nothing to do and they don't know what's happening and why no one's calling them and nothing's happening. Now they can leave the house, right? They can take their family out, go bowling, have a good time, and build a relationship. And the bowling alley loves that I'm sending people to them. Right? So now they're appreciative. They're not going out of business. Right? The next week, yes?
Sorry to interrupt. how do you make an arrangement with like a local bowling alley, so if they bring the voucher, they bill you directly?
Yeah.
How do you build that out?
So I'll get to that towards the end. But yeah, so I walk into every business and I usually have a relationship with those people anyway, because these are people that are going to be your advocates, right? We're creating a second level of advocacy. So we're going to these businesses and saying, I want to connect you with my people. I want your business to grow. I don't want you to go out of business. Let me bring you to my people. Let's make a deal, right? So that's what I do. So now every week, I'm sending a co-branded week 2 free slices, and 2 free alcoholic drinks at Gino's Pizza. Go sit at the bar, get some pizza, have a couple glasses of wine, relax. Everything's going to be okay. Week 3, someone will come to your house and wash your car. They're going to wash your car in your driveway. And the car is amazingly spotless. I'm stuttering. It's so good, this car wash. And then they drop a little Wash by Pocket Pete thing on the seat when they're done. Okay, so someone will come to your home and wash your damn car. Okay? See? You see what's happening here? Then, Bottolado's Market, the best meatballs you've ever had in your life. Best meatballs ever. When you come to Long Island, I'm going to buy you a meatball. These meatballs. And Bottlado, I like my dad jokes. So I added, if I bought you a panini, would I be your hero? Well, you guys say hoagie here or some shit, right? What do you say? What do you say? I hate it. We say hero in New York. So this is funny in New York and not so funny here. If I bought you a panini, would I be your hero? Then, someone's coming to your house again. This time, it's a massage therapist. You're stressed. What's happening? When are we closing? What's going on, Pete? I'll tell you what. I'm going to send somebody to give you a massage. Everything's going to be all right. And a massage therapist will go to your house and relax everything. Not everything. We'll relax you.
Come to happy ending.
Do you find that people actually take advantage of these services?
They do. They do.
So they do arrange for the massage. They do arrange.
They do. And so what's going to happen is every week, and no matter whether they're using it or not, the appreciation is there.
Just that you thought of.
Just that I thought of them, just that I'm giving them. They'll ask me, do you make any damn money? Right? And I'm sure a lot of you are thinking that too. Like, how much money do you spend to be popular?
Does anyone file a restraining order?
Not yet. Not yet, but
Pete, is there like an expiration? If they don't use it, and they go, you can just like, but they don't have to go on, say for example, the massage.
yeah.
Like, they just don't have the time that week, but, you know, they want to use it a month after they close. You use
The
it-
rest of their life.
So you don't have any problem, anytime they want to use that voucher, you're good with it?
Not only that, if they're moving away, give it to somebody. Because I want to be shared, right? I want to be talked about. If someone called it, my realtor gave me a massage. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Right? No, not like that. He gave me a coupon for a massage. I can't use it. Can you use it? Now I'm being talked about because of the handoff. This is interchangeable. This is whoever hands it in. I want to be shared. I want to be talked about. I want to be liked. I want advocates. I want business. That's nice and easy. Carl.
So if somebody passes it along, is the massage company getting the data of who's using it and passing it back to you?
Yeah, well, I get it.
Email address, whatever, so
Yeah, they'll pull that info. But also, like, I'll get a text or a call too from that client saying, "Hey, I gave," because this is all small. This is all small stuff. It's not a massage company. It's a massage therapist. It's a small business. So it's Jessica. Jessica's calling me. Hey, this person, came in for a massage today. So so like, I'll go, who is that? Sometimes I'm like, who is that? Then Dream Door Decor. They will make you a custom wreath for your door, for your new door, wherever that is. Whether you're buying or selling, at some point you're going to have a door, right? And they will, we usually, I'll either have my runner go and pick it up, or I'll drop it off. But she does amazing work, and we all know small business people, especially in the craft industry, right, that would love, because the craft industry is the poorest industry in the whole world. They make no money, and they love what they do, and they're passionate about it, and they just want to be shared. Find somebody in the craft industry and figure out what you can do with them. You got one in mind?
No, I just like crafting, but
All right.
I like selling houses more.
Okay. So they get this, and this is always with them. So like every time they see this at their door, they're going to think of you, right? Okay. Then, as we get close to closing, we're at the closing table in a basket. In the basket are two things. One is a professional photographer. If this is on the buy side, I do this before closing if they're moving away, or if they're not buying with me, on the other side, like if they're not staying in my area. A professional photographer will come to their home and take their first or last family photo in the house. Okay? And as the Pocket Pete golden ticket, they get a professional chef will come to their home with pots and pans and food and cook you your first or last date night meal in your home. He pours the wine. He talks about I said this on the thing, and I say it all the time. He talks about what's happening on the palate. I don't speak wine. I don't get it. But he does, and he tells you about it. And he does this 3-course meal for these people. And it is an experience that is completely unmatched and branded to me. The menu has my face on it. Okay? So,
what happens if there's a divorce?
then they're going to have their first date night meals, right? It's going to be a real first.
You still send a photographer out though?
Well, I won't send the goodbye photographer. I mean, it depends on the... Right. Yeah. Actual performance may vary. Yeah, if it's a divorce, there's some adjustments.
If there's like an alternate, closing ending that you would do in that situation.
Yeah, so what I like to do, and as you grow, and I pray that you all grow and hit this level, is this needs to be, no matter what you do, all this has to feel good, feel personal, but also be automated. Because you can't grow if you're running around and doing small tasks. You can't sell 100 houses if you're running around and doing the small tasks and itemizing everything for each individual person. So it's better to have things that you can take off versus trying to figure out what to add on for a special occasion, right? And just like let that one go. That's a divorce. Pull that thing off. That's not going out. But don't waste your time and rack your brain over something that is not repeatable, right? The important thing is, if you want to grow, if you want to make this scalable, is have it repeatable. All these are printed out. Before I had my assistant, my transactional coordinator, I stacked them up. I just grabbed them. Week 1 went out, week 2 went out, week 3 went out. This way you're not trying to do something on an individual basis, but you're giving this individual special experience.
Did you ever consider the delivery end of it being better served, like with the touch, you know, having someone deliver all these things versus mailing?
You mean like someone personally
Yeah.
deliver them?
I mean,
Like a Popeye.
Yeah, I like that, and I do drop-offs, which we'll talk about in a minute. Oh, forgot to bring one of the drop-offs. I was going to bring a drop-off and show it off.
With the different boxes and stuff instead of mailing them, right? Did you ever do it the delivery end? Or-
My concern would be, yes, especially in the beginning, but again, 2 things. My concern would be scaling. It really depends on how big you want to get and how you want to have your systems work when you're selling 100, 200 houses, right? So like that would be the concern of mine, is there might be bottlenecking when I put 10 houses under contract. And now I'm trying to,
I mean, you personally.
yeah. But what I would, and I have runners and people that deliver things. But I find the UPS is always on time, give or take. But yeah, any personal experience that you can both, because I'm willing and want you to steal anything I do, but more importantly, I want you to think about what you can do and how you can build your personal experience. So if that is part of your personal experience, and while you're thinking about it, you're thinking about, okay, this is a non-negotiable. Remember I said 6 things that you do, that nobody else does, right? Those are my non-negotiables. If you send me to Idaho and I start all over, I know I'm going to meet new businesses but these things are going to happen. They're non-negotiable, right? So you have to decide what part of the experience is your brand. What's non-negotiable? If that's something for you that you feel like that's a touching experience that says that's who you are, then you need to work around that and go, okay, that's who I am. That's what it is. It's non-negotiable, but how do I scale it? Right? How do I build a system around that?
Speaking of system, unless you're gonna share it later, what system are you using to track all the tasks and the dates that they're due and stuff like that?
Sure. So, no, I can talk about that. Are they going to ask me like CRM or stuff like that, which I will talk about. So now I'm a mess, okay? Let me start there. So you're looking at someone who built a system and begs people for help with it, okay? So I have a transactional coordinator that has her checklist.
Okay.
Like as soon as I put a deal under contract, she goes, okay, it's under contract box goes out. I have a signature stamp, and she asks me, what do you want to say to this person? I text her the personal message. She writes it out, puts it in. I hope none of my clients see this, by the way. Puts the card in, sends the box out to the mail. And this is not part of the thing, but I want to just talk. If you do this, and you guys end up doing this, put it in a bag, a UPS bag, or like a postal bag, because when they stamp it, they cover all the pretty things you did, and like it's all over, and it ruins the experience. So put it in a bag. I just want to point that out because I was very upset. I didn't create in my head, I create things. My ADHD keeps me from putting things on paper, so I just live a chaotic life, and it's all in here, and then I'm lucky enough to have counterparts and organized people that know how to put things down, okay? But yeah, she has the list. Check, did it, sent this, she knows each client, what mailer went out, and when, and thank God for her, right? Any other questions?
So if you're working in a big enough area where you might want to have you might not want to send them 35 minutes to this restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And do you have multiple restaurants that if that house is within this, you're going to send them?
Here's how I would present it. No, but I do have an alternate company that I use when it's really outside my space. So I'm in Long Island. Every once in a while I'll sell a house in Queens or Brooklyn, Don't tell any of our Queens or Brooklyn brokers. Every once in a while, like I'll just have a sale in those areas where these experiences are too far. But the important thing to remember is I'm trying to create an experience. I actually want them to get in the car and go to these places, and I present it that way. That it's not about a convenient slice of pizza, it's about get in the car, go check out Gino's, you're gonna love them. Go have that beer, go get the massage, do the things because it's an experience, right? I wanna be Walt Disney, right? I don't wanna be Grubhub. So all my places are in different areas because it's not about what those people, where those people are, it's about what those people do, right? And as a referral person, I'm all over the map anyway. So I can never predict where I'll be tomorrow. I think I fill up my gas tank every other day. I'm filling up my gas tank. So when you're a referral person, know that. Like if you're a geographical farmer or you're cold calling, you can keep it narrowed down to whatever space you are. When you're a referral person, get a car that's efficient on gas. I did not do that, but you should do that.
Now,
Sure.
in regards to like the one for the services that went to the house, like the massage service, like if you're in Long Island and say you did sell to somebody in Brooklyn or Queens, like would that be something that you would the person that you use, would they be willing to make the ride? You pay them extra to do the ride? Or how's that work?
Yeah, so my massage therapist does like, if it's within a certain range, I pay her extra to go. It's worth because it's like $20. Like if they don't want that, like they want more acknowledgement that they're putting the extra effort in monetarily, than the actual, it's nothing crazy that I'm not willing to do. And then when it gets really outside of the geographical area, which is every once in a while, there's one or two deals where I use a company called Client Giant. And Client Giant will do weekly mailers and things, but it's just not personalized, it's not business networking. And in certain situations, I'll use that company.
Now, what do you do now from Long Island? Say they went to Florida, which
Yeah.
everybody's going to now.
Right.
What do you do if somebody's relocating to Florida with the whole follow-up process? The box you could still do, I get that, you can ship it to Florida. But what do you do with the rest of the more localized services? How do you handle that?
If they're already in Florida?
Well,
If they're going to Florida, this is during the under contract period, so if they're going,
Okay, they don't need it. House is empty, you're selling an empty house, they're in Florida already. You have an empty house under contract now. How do you handle it?
so what I'll do is in those situations, now I get an opportunity to network. Because I'll say, look, here's what I normally do, and I'll use the Client Giant, right? I'll use Client Giant, but I can say to them, here's what I normally actually do for my clients. I want to do this for you. Is there anybody that really appreciate that you think might be looking to buy or sell soon? Because I would love to send them this and show them what we do. And now you've back-ended your way into a referral.
Oh, very nice.
Anyone else? How we doing?
I have a question.
Shoot.
So all in for one of the experiences, how much would you say financially putting
Hi.
towards that?
Okay, so here's the wonderful thing.
I'm asking.
Yeah, no, I don't mind you asking. Here's the most wonderful part about all this, is that the bowling is free. The Gino's Pizza is probably $20, $30. The car wash is $45. The paninis are probably $30. The gift voucher for the massage is $65 unless she's traveling extra far. The Dream Door decor is probably $60, $65. Oh, after they close. After they close, they get, if they're buying and they're still there, they get a $500 gift card from Remodel Rob to do any repairs in the house that they want to do. And obviously, the photographer is $100 and the professional chef is $150. When the professional chef goes back, he charges $400 for the same experience because it is a really incredible experience. That's a lot of money. What's wonderful is if they don't use it, I don't pay. So really, in reality, 10 to 20% of these are used. So really, my cost basis per client is 1/5 of all that. It probably costs me less per client in gifts than it costs you to create whatever you're creating or buy whatever you're buying, whatever gift card you're giving, I'm probably spending less and creating a much better experience, networking with businesses, creating these advocacy relationships with each one of these people are dying to give me business. Every business that I connect with my people is dying to reciprocate. Because not only do they want to give back, and they really do, but they also want to hand me to someone that they know, like me, is talking them up. So they're going to be steering all the ears to this mouth, right? So I've created an unparalleled experience for less than what most of you are spending on your client gifts.
Do these have expiration dates?
None. Because I want them to be used. I want to be on social media. I want people to share it. And it's a great opportunity to reach out to these old clients and go, hey, you haven't used the chef yet. How are you? What's new? You know,
How much is a personal chef?
it costs me $150. When he does it and he goes back, he charges $400. So, and he gets constant repeat, because once you have the experience, you can have a restaurant-like feel in your house. It's amazing. It's
Your own stuff, like,
yeah, and not only that, I love this man. And can you see how I advocate, why I'm a super advocate, right? So he calls you up, he asks you about you. What type of foods do you like? What are you into? He builds a custom 3-course meal around the people that you are. And it's unique, it's special. And the experience is just, it's talked about for years and years. And people are dying to buy houses so that they can get the chef.
he does the cooking there, right?
What?
He does the cooking there?
He brings the pots, the pans, the food, and he cooks it all there, washes it up, and it goes against my other person, but his wife, and just so you know, not that if you're ever on Long Island, you need a chef. His wife's a massage therapist. So you can actually get a massage while the food's getting cooked. So it's just a wonderful,
So the masseuse and the chef, they're both the separate people that you use?
No, the masseuse is someone totally different. So it's a different advocate source. Okay. Yeah. Any questions? How am I doing?
Great.
Very good.
Okay. All right, so now we want to keep the experience alive. Hello. Remember, you're creating experience. You're creating this brand. You want to be in the spaces where people are talking you up, right? The best day is moving day. So I say, what day are you moving? I'm bringing pizza. And then I put a sticker on the pizza box with my face on it. And I show up with a branded pizza box because I want to be talked about on the happiest day of their day with all their family and friends that are there to help them. I'm now top of mind and the greatest thing that's ever happened. By the way, I hear there's a great pizza place near here that Carl's going to be buying me pizza, right? Is that a fact? Okay. Okay.
I just brought a very hot topic around here.
That goes over so well, and that is a huge social media magnet. And you ask them to take a picture. Sometimes, honestly, just so you know, just prepare, don't get heartbroken. Sometimes they're sweaty, and they don't feel pretty, and they won't not necessarily want to take the picture there. A lot of times they'll take a picture of the pizza box, and they're sharing it constantly. And you're there sitting with their moms, their dads, their aunts, their uncles, that are so happy for them, and your face is at dinner time.
Are you helping them move?
What?
Are you helping them move?
No, I have. Early on, early on I would do whatever I had to do. I moved a granite pool table out of a house into my pickup truck because the 7 movers refused to do it. So I showed up with Cousin Cliff and got that thing out of the house and into my pickup truck and then left it in my pickup truck for 2 weeks to figure out what do you do with a granite pool table. And then I found a place to dump it. I dumped it. But at that time, I would do whatever it could do. But I have moving people. If you need moving people, we do it. I have Remodel Rob does clean outs. I will do whatever it takes to be as concierge, hand, white glove service as humanly possible and connect with the people around me. So I will, if they need work done, I say, listen, it's totally under control. If you want somebody, I have the most trusted person. I'll put my name on it. If you need a clean out, like with estate sales, if you want all this cleaned out, I can have a dumpster here tomorrow. My contractor bought a dumpster because of me. So now he owns a dumpster and he can do clean outs for me.
Another question.
Shoot.
Can you talk a little bit more about this app? Like, how did you create it? How did people find it? Besides, obviously, telling them.
Sure. So my app it's called Pocket Pete. You can find it in the App Store. I created it with my app developer, so I'm happy if anyone wants to talk to him and help connect it. But basically, it's not for SEO. It's for personal connections. I mean, I have a lot of downloads for a local fella. I think I have like 6,000 or something like that. But really, it's for sit down. Let's talk about the house buying or house selling process. And while we're doing that, I want you to download my app, and I want you to put it in the front, right where your thumb is, because during this whole process, you're going to be needing me, and you're going to be needing my people. So I'm always going to be right there in your pocket for you, right? So now all the people they need, the attorneys, the inspectors, I have like little podcast videos on what's happening, what to expect at certain things. I have like actual podcast videos that just to keep people engaged, events. But what I'm doing is I'm saying, put me on the front of your screen. How often do you look at your screen? 3,000 times a day? I'm subliminally branding myself in their minds, I don't know, 300, 400 times a day, every time they look at their phone. Pocket Pete, Pocket Pete, Pocket Pete, Pocket Pete. So, and I have clients, I've had this app 4 years. They're still using it. I can see who's using it. I can do push notifications from it. So if I have an event, they'll get a push notification, come to Pie Day. We're buying 700 pies, by the way. I'm so excited. But we're creating, I'm jumping ahead now, but let me see, I don't know if I have the pie thing. But we do the Thanksgiving pie event. We bring Santa Claus, so the real Santa Claus, by the way. So yeah, if anybody wants how to build the app and stuff like that, I'm happy to connect you and help you build it out. It took about 9 or 10 months personally to develop it and then fill it where it looked useful enough to be used. But it's been worth every penny. And it's really, for what you get out of it, it's not that expensive. So.
How much was it? Do you still have to pay for the
I pay $100 and something a month to keep it live. And at the time, I spent maybe something just under $2,000 to develop it. I have a podcast, yeah. I have a podcast-esh whenever I do it, and I'll talk about that too. I have some beef with the realtor community about podcasting. So we'll cover that too, because I have the time, because I own the stage. So what was I talking about?
Sorry,
Oh, the cost, right. The cost was just under $2,000, maybe, it's been 4 years, maybe it's slightly over, but like the ROI that I got on that is untouchable. Okay, so now they've had the chef, they've had the experience, they've created you've created these advocates out of all of these people you can't let them go away. You can't let them forget, right? So what do? How do you collect people? Well, it starts by putting them in your damn CRM. How many people have anybody in their CRM? Raise your hand. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of liars in the room, just so you know. I have a brokerage too. I have agents. Maybe 2 of them use their CRM, including my business partner. If you want to scale, I hope the hands that are up are actually using it. If you want to scale and leverage your time, you have to use technology. You just have to. So step 1 is I developed something called the triple quarterly, which is roughly every month I'm doing something, but I'm doing 3 things quarterly. I have a client appreciation event quarterly. And I'll do, let's see if I have anything here. What did I do? I'll have I've had an ice cream social. So you come down, I make a video, I send it out through BombBomb, and I send a video out, a text message. I have what's called a SMART plan, where I send it to all my clients and advocates. It automatically goes email, BombBomb email, 3 days later text message, 3 days later email, and it just does that just to put that. And I put it on social media. Hey, I appreciate you. I appreciate you trusting me with your business. Appreciate you rooting for me. Bless you. I'm giving away ice cream. Come on down if you're around. Come on down. Get a slice of ice cream. Pizza's on my mind. Get an ice cream cone. Give me a hug. Go on with your life. Right? I just want to say hi. I just want you to come by. Give you some ice cream. It's a quick thing. And what I'm doing, and then I'll do charity. So Christmas time, we adopt kids, and we basically say, hey, we grabbed 20 kids' cards to buy gifts for kids. We know how good we feel when we give. I just want to give you the opportunity to do that too. If you want to pop by my office and grab a card and adopt a family, if you want to do any of this. So I'm engaging people every quarter with something where I'm not making it about me. I'm not begging for business. I'm not saying, hey, do you know anyone looking to buy or sell? I'm saying, hey, I'm still the great guy that gave you all those things. Now I'm doing this. Now I want to give you ice cream. Now I want to help a family, right? Because it's not asking for business that gets you business. It's branding yourself and reminding them you exist. And what happens most often is I'll get 2 or 3 referrals from those events, and often from people that don't show up. It's the outreach. It's reminding them that you exist. And then you'll stand there and you go, this is going to be a bust. No one's coming. No one loves me. And then people show up. It feels good. But really, maybe 10, 15, 20% of your sphere is going to show up. But they all felt the love. They all felt the appreciation, right? And that's the goal. It's the good guy path to getting rich, is creating this feeling, this community feeling, creating this entity feeling that you're this thing that is giving and doing and part of a bigger thing. And that should be your goal. And then constantly, and then we do a drop off. It's sort of like the pop buys, but the pop buys pull in every second of your life. So I do drop offs. And I pay a crafty girl to come up with something every season. I used to do, in the winter, I was doing ice melt. And I had a dad joke on there. I don't think I have that here. Oh yeah, here it is. Oh no, it just said be safe. That's not a joke. I just put be safe and my name and logo on ice melt and left it at people's doors. Right? Because it's cold. People need ice melt. Right? I in the summer, the ketchup mustard relish thing, I would be good to ketchup. I always relish your referrals. We mustard do this again. And then I have a little, for little things, I accidentally overbought things that were way too big, I couldn't use them anyway, a bunch of popcorn that had butter and oil in it. And they were for that box, and they were like this big. They were this big. So I just said, so I ordered stickers that said, I know it's a little corny, but it's butter than nothing. Proudest joke of my life, by the way. I'm going to say it again. I know it's a little corny, but it's better than nothing. So like you're popping by with goodness, dropping off of goodness. I used to walk around with the popcorn thing because I just wanted to see people's faces when I handed it to them. But the goal is to constantly stay top of mind, right? But you can't do it with just your cell phone. You can't do it. You could do it when you have 50 people probably, right? You can't do it when you have 200. You can't do it when you have 300. So you need your CRM. You need a system that helps you scale. Because at some point, keeping this organized and being able to do the outreach, which is the most important, is impossible. Unless I have tags for my clients in my CRM, which I use Chime, don't tell Remax. And when I hit the tag Chime, the tag Pi, everybody that is an advocate or a former client gets put into whatever smart task I want, which is text message and email campaign with the video and all that stuff. And then I'll do some ringless voicemail, and then I'll do social media posts about whatever I'm doing, which is really important. If you're not creating video and creating content, then you're losing. Someone else is eating your lunch, okay? So create video, and how am I doing on time? Can I keep talking? Okay. So you have to create that to keep that feel, to keep people seeing your face. And you don't need to talk about real estate. They hate real estate. They don't care that you just listed a house, just so you know. They're going to ignore you. Don't get ignored. You have to play roulette with them. They have to not know what they're getting when they click your video, or they're going to ignore you. If you click my video, I'm going to tell a joke. I'm going to have something serious to say. I'm going to be eating something. You don't know until you click. So, in fact, I found out recently when I was in Savannah that there are many macaroon opinions. I shot a video about trying my first macaroon, and the whole world exploded with opinions.
You didn't like it?
I hated it. Oh, you saw it, yeah. Okay.
One bite.
And I couldn't believe how many people really had serious opinions about macaroons. So there are people not only in the thread texting me, DMing me about my macaroon experience, happy and unhappy. But you're creating this show for people. You're creating this experience. You have to stay top of mind for free. And you have to keep people in your world. You're making them care about you, right? So you could either ignore them where they feel like they've stopped being reached out to except, through these things that you better be doing. Or you can post about your life on social media. And what I mean is what you like to do, what makes you happy, what is real, who is the real you, right? If you're a dog person, be a dog person on video. If you've done enough social media where you've talked about inspections, step one is creating the searing in their minds that you're a real estate agent. Once they look at you and they know you're a real estate agent, you're done. They don't want to hear about real estate. It's boring. They're only interested 2 months out of every 7 years, right? But if they are going to dinner and they see a video about you talking about your experience with your new puppy, and they love puppies and you love puppies, and they go to dinner and they watch your video because they love puppies, and now someone brings up real estate, you're going to be the one that they talk about, even though you didn't say the word real estate once, right? So be yourself, create a world in which you're showing the people who your real personalities are. And what's magical is you attract those that enjoy your company. You're going to attract people and get referrals off of social media with people that you're really going to enjoy because they see who you are because you're being who you are and they're like-minded. And I can't tell you how many easy sit-downs and easy listening appointments where people have said, I watched your podcast with Charles Weinrub. I feel like I know you already. I feel like this is, we're already friends. You just don't know me yet, and it makes life so much easier. It really does.
Bonus question.
Sure.
Now, how do you manage the time to do, I know you said you have a team that you work with too, but like the podcast and everything else too, obviously it's very time consuming to do all this stuff. How do you find all the time in the day to do everything and, and do the sales volume you do?
Yeah, so one, the video is the easiest part. The podcast stuff, like if I'm sitting down with someone, we'll do it. I love early meetings. If I can get you to meet me at 5 a.m., I'm down, right? I want to meet before the phone starts ringing. That's my goal for meetings and things like that. But when it comes to social media, when it comes to video, hello, everybody. I'm here just showing off that you don't need to find time to shoot a video. You can just do it in whatever you're doing, whenever you have, we're going on 15 seconds, and you can just do it and create content and create, sentences that don't get finished, right? but you can do it, and you're done. And it's so simple. This is the easiest part of the whole thing is just being in front of people, being yourself, and keeping it super simple just like this. I'm going to post this right now. I'm not even going to look at it, right? Because two things, that's really who I am. I'm being myself, right? I'm showing myself to the world. I'm reminding them, and I'm saving time by not deliberating and making perfection the enemy of the good. Right? In 3 weeks from now, there's probably going to be 20 more videos. That's going to be forgotten. Right? So if it's an imperfect video, so what? My partner, Nicole, we're going to be shooting a video class in a month or two, where we highlight, she is the most dynamic person on video that you've ever seen. She was the worst. She was the worst. She still got business from shooting videos. There's one video, she's shooting it in the car, through the steering wheel, up her nose, rambling on about God knows what. And it started like that, and now Nicole Schwartz, if you guys want to look her up, now she's the most dynamic person that you'll see on video. It's dinosaur bones. You make a video, you forget about it. You make a video, you forget about it. You get better, you become yourself, and all of a sudden, you're humming and you're sharing yourself with the world. At least they see you, right? And they're going to see more of who you are the more you do it. All right, let me post this so I can do what I say I was going to do. Hold on. Ooh, I have DMs.
What's your favorite platform?
Facebook was. Instagram's becoming more of a target for me. Instagram is becoming what Facebook was, which was the age of people most likely to buy or sell. And it's more, the scroll just seems to keep me more top of mind for people.
What's your team consist of?
Hello, everybody. I'm here just showing off. My personal team, I have 5 buyer's agents, okay? 3 that are full-time, 2 that are part-time. I have a transactional coordinator that handles the deals once they're under contract to help keep it moving, to allow me to show up here and not have to follow up with what's signed and things like that. And I have a virtual assistant. And then obviously as broker, I have like front desk people and stuff like that. But my personal sales team is that. Hold on, let me post. Let me get this out there. Okay, anything else? Any other questions?
How,
Hello, everybody.
Own branding, or are they branded for you?
What's that?
Do your buyer's agents have their own branding, or did you brand?
No, they're branded to me. They can use their name, but everything is Pocket Pete, Team Pocket Pete. Because what you want, we're a brand. If they want to be part of the magnet of business that I bring in, then we want to be able to multiply that, right? So they have their own personalities. They have their ways of doing things, but I have non-negotiables, right? These certain things have to happen, and these certain experiences have to happen, and the people that they're working with need to realize that experience is this brand, or we all can't grow. Right? My team agents are part of we're one unit, we're one brand.
Are you using your own website at pocketpete.com and like email addresses are at pocketpete?
No, I don't do that. I don't do that. It's not a bad idea, but it's just not not something that I do.
The cards and stuff that are going out from the buyer's agents, are they paying for, if it's used, or are you paying that as a team leader?
I pay. Yeah. I cover nearly everything. Yeah. I want them to concentrate on being buyer's agent. That's all I want them to think about. Just, when you're building a team, you're creating cogs in a wheel, and it's basically you want people to narrow their focus on one thing and be great at that one thing. I want them to be better buyers agents than I am. I want to be able to sit down with a new client and say, and I always do what's called I call the warm handoff, where I'll sit down with them and I'll say, I'll go through the whole what they're going to expect through the transaction. I have them there with me to put in my buyer's agent there with me to put in their 2 cents. And then I say, I'm the team leader, I'm the broker. Selling is a lot of time, helping you buy a house a lot of times is like being a fireman. Something hits the market, you got to be there right away. That's why we work as a team. So Sandy's going to be there for you for the day-to-day, and she does this actually more than I do. So I'm here to problem solve for you. I'm here to put out fires, but the day-to-day, Sandy's actually better than I am. So we're all in good hands together, right? And we're gonna meet your goals. You had a question? Who had a question? Anyone?
You've been doing this experience for how long?
I started this about 4 years ago.
And how different is it now than when you first started?
Yeah, so it started with the box. So it gradually started adding businesses. I'm always trying to add businesses and add experiences. So it's evolved quite a bit. And every time I get a thought or I meet someone. So this professional chef, I met at a wake. What? I should have asked, right? He was an old friend that we were reacquainted at a wake. He told me what he was doing, and it hit me. And I called him the next day. So I'm always just trying to evolve, and hopefully, if we do this again next year, I'll have new businesses, and I'll have new experiences, and I'll be better because I'm always networking, and the most important thing you can do when building your business is shake hands. You have to get to know people, and you have to give. When I meet somebody, and I hate when people do the opposite, I want to know, how can I help you? What do you do? How can I help? Oh, you own a lumber yard? How can I help you? Is there any value I can add? That's what I want to know from them. When I meet a mortgage banker, 95% of the time I cringe because I know they're going to ask how I can help them. Right? I know they're going to be sucking energy from me. I want to do the opposite. I want to figure out, I want to go long term and see how I can help someone else because I know it's looping back to me. So I'm always out there meeting people. I'm a passionate small business owner. I know the pain. You guys all know the pain. Use that empathy to connect with people, especially small businesses. And help them, they will help you.
Would anyone here buy a house through Pete?
And then brand yourself. Like really, like I have the Pocket Pete onesie. Every time there's a life event, I try to be involved in it. I have T-shirts.
What do you do with the t-shirts? When do you give them out?
Sometimes at events. Sometimes I'll just print a bunch and I'll just post that I got them, and then people will ask for them.
I gotta give Pete credit.
Sweatshirt.
When my son was born, I got a Pocket Pete package in my house.
Mm-hmm.
Pocket Pete onesie and a few other things. Pete and I have been friends for a while now, but you remember that experience, right? It's all about giving people an experience.
Yeah. Yeah. And it shows that you care, and you want to be part of their lives forever, right? That's how you grow it, and it's super simple to make people feel that way.
Hey, what do you do around the holidays? Now with Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, everything's popping up right now.
Yeah.
What do you do with previous clients now? Just
Apple pie. So we're hosting an event for Thanksgiving where we will have we rent a hall, and I blast out those emails, and I'm going to be in constant social media and stuff like that. In fact, it's a countdown now, so like I'm going to have to daily say, "Come on down, get some pie," and we have Santa Claus come down, and you come down, you get a free apple pie, you give me a hug, and you can take a picture with the real Santa Claus. It really is the real Santa Claus. I do his dry cleaning, so he does me favors. And then we do for Christmas. I have gifts that go out like drop-offs, and then I have the super advocate gifts where I think of special things, and also Client Giant has I use Client Giant sometimes for advocate gifts too, because they have tiered Christmas gifts. So I'll spend $200 on crystal stemware or something.
is clientgiant.com?
Yeah. And so the holidays, the super advocates get something very special. And then we're adopting families for the outreach to say, hey, we don't want kids to go without presents this year. If you want to help, this is where you can help and how you can reach out. And that gets more connections than anything, and you get to help people. You can get rich by doing good. It's wonderful. All right. Thank you.